next on ECN, a regularly scheduled meeting of your Edinburg City Council. On the council, Mayor Ramiro Garza Jr., Mayor Pro Tem Jason De Leon, Councilmember Daniel Dan Diaz, Councilmember David Salazar Jr., and Councilmember Jerry Lozano. Sitting in as advisors, City Manager Myra Ayala and City Attorney Josie Ramirez Solis. And now, live from Edinburg City Hall, the Edinburg City Council.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Edinburg City Council meeting. I'm going to call this regular council meeting to order. It is 6 p.m., August 4th, 2025. And I do see visibly that we do have a quorum with all members of council present. So we're going to...
Out and competed in the 17th Annual Gulf Coast Champion. We brought back 13 titles. We are proud these young champions are representing the city of Edinburg with integrity and respect. We'd also thank our instructors for their dedication and commitment, Master Julian Gomez, Aiden Lopez, and Lisa Sanchez. Now I present your champions, Ariane Tejada, Dante Reyes, Melody Prunea, Juliet Orozco, Manolo Ibarra, Yara Tejada, Kareli Robles, Nareli Robles, Kevin Guzman, Gerardo Garcia III, Amelia Garcia, Wilmary Mendez, Danitis Tejada, and Andrew Torres. These are your champions. Feet together. Now,
You're small but mighty. Remember that. Small but mighty.
Oh my goodness, look at the rings.
Okay, so we just need to turn around this way, and we're going to take a picture.
Small kids in the front.
You know the drill. You know the drill. And the rings, too. Guys, I have a question. Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do?
Uh-oh.
Which one? Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do?
All right. Follow me, guys.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Very very talented kids that we have here in our community. Congratulations again to them and all the parents that are here. Congratulations to you as well. Thank you for enrolling them in our Parks and Recreation Department, and we look forward to their continued involvement. So thank you.
Mayor, if I could just say congrats to Javi, all your team. Our programs develop champions. As we know, we have state champs, we have all that. If we didn't have these programs, a lot of these kids would not have these opportunities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, now we have a presentation and proclamation recognizing Raúl El Tigre Cázares, and I see him in the audience. Come to the podium, please. Thank you. We have a proclamation to present for you this evening, and it's going to be read for the record. We're going to go down.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Raúl El Tigre Cázares. Whereas at the young age of 12 and weighing 210 pounds, Raúl Cázares felt inspired to box. He asked his father if he could help him train to compete, and after losing over 70 pounds, Raúl started boxing locally and nationally, where he fought over 80 amateur fights. And whereas his amateur career would not last long, in 2002, he got the attention of Marco Antonio Barrera, Nestor Tigre Garza, and Ricardo Maldonado. Mr. Cázares was signed and turned professional boxer at the age of 16. And whereas at the age of 24, Mr. Cázares fought for the WBO Youth World title in Kissimmee, Florida, where he pulled off an upset and brought the title home to the RGV. Soon after, he signed with the Hall of Fame promoter Don Chargin and got TV dates against JC Candelo and title eliminator on Showtime PPV against Alfredo Angulo. And whereas his first loss in 8 years would soon take a toll on his life in and outside of the ring. And whereas in 2015, after a 2-year period of inactivity, Raúl Tigre Cázares made a triumphant return. The Edinburgh middleweight came back to headline Saturday's Extreme Fight Night 5 show at South Texas Fighting Academy in Palmhurst and won on a second-round technical knockout against Marcos Osegura of Honduras. And whereas in 2023, Raúl El Tigre Cázares retired after over 20 years as a boxer in 35 professional boxing matches. That same year, he was inducted into the RGV Boxing Hall of Fame by Evander Holyfield. And whereas Mr. Cázares has successfully owned Tigres Boxing Gym for 11 years, where he dedicates his days in guiding his boxers in and out of the gym, often sharing his past mistakes and bad decisions. And whereas Mr. Cázares El Tigre competed professionally from 1998 to 2019. He was known for facing the best and never turning down any fight challenge. Now he dreams of training a future world champion. And whereas Mr. Cázares has ventured into the world of promoting professional and amateur boxing in South Texas with GT Promotions owned by Hector Cavazos, Gilbert Vasquez, and Raúl Cázares. Wherever the ring took Raúl El Tigre Cázares, his biggest pride was always representing his hometown of Edinburgh, Texas. Now therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Edinburgh, Texas, by power vested in them by law, do hereby recognize Raúl El Tigre Cázares.
Hello, Mayor. I'd like to thank the Edinburgh City Council for always showing me support everywhere I went, whether it was nationals, world, as a pro. I represented the City of Edinburgh proudly. I want to thank you all for always showing support. And GT Promotions, Hector Cavazos, my partner and I, Gilbert, we're planning on doing big things for the City of Edinburgh. With your all support, and with God's help, God's blessing, we're going to do big things. Thank God. Thank you all.
Congratulations again, and we look forward to that. And thank you for always representing our city and our region and all that you do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Council, before we move on to item 5, public comments, I do want to move up an item. We have item 11F. If council's, thank you so much, thank you. Council, if y'all are okay with that, council, can we move up item 11F? This is an item under consent agenda, and I want to take this up because we have a special presentation on this as well, but we want to see if we can take action on this. So, item 11F, you want to read that item, please?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Consider resolution of the City of Edinburgh, Texas, to dedicate a certain portion of Sugar Road by designated as Sugar Road, Coach Al Ogletree Way from SH 107 University Drive to Junior Road.
All right, council, we have the resolution before you. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Well, motion is second, and before we vote, we do have some folks in the university here. Former players. That, we have some former players I see here as well. So, Councilor, if it's appropriate, can we take action? And I think we wanted to present the actual signage. Do we take action first, or can we allow? Yes? Okay. All right, all those in favor of the, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes, and this is the sign of what will be dedicated, a portion of Sugar Road Coach Al Ogletree Way, from University to Baseball Stadium. And we have our athletic director here and others. I think we wanted to take a quick picture with you also. Council, can we? No. Y'all will get in the middle here. Get in the front. Get right. You were exactly right, but we're going to have a ceremony. Mr. Goldberg. Did you hear with Mr. Goldberg? That's right. So we're going to be scheduling the ceremony. Sure, coordinating with everybody. Sure. Yes. Yes, please. Yes.
Thank you. I'll just say something real quick. And then
Go ahead.
I just want to thank you, gentlemen, and the city for honoring Coach Al. I played under him, and he was like a father to many, many players. I live in Edinburgh. I was born and raised in Edinburgh, so I had a great father, but he was like a second father to me. And you ask anybody that played for him, he was a wonderful man. And I really appreciate, this is long overdue, and I really appreciate you all doing this and naming the street after him. It's a great honor. And we have Dan, his son, who also played for him, to speak.
On behalf of the family, I'd like to thank the commission and the mayor for doing what you did. It's a great honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. Very well deserved. Let's give him a hand, please. I believe we're going to schedule a ceremony sometime very soon, so we'll coordinate that. We already have the sign, so we'll do that very soon. So thank you. I'm going to go back. We don't have, I don't believe, anyone here from the American Legion here for the to recognize the National Purple Heart Day, but I do want it read for the record, as it is National Purple Heart Day coming up, and so we're going to read that for the record, and we'll provide the proclamation to the American Legion Post 408.
Yes, sir, Mayor. National Purple Heart Day, August 7, 2025. Whereas the citizens of the city of Edinburgh, Texas have great admiration, respect, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have gallantly served in the armed forces of our country. And whereas the Purple Heart is among the oldest military decorations in present use and was initially created as a badge of military merit, an honor created by George Washington in 1782. And whereas the Purple Heart was the first American Service Award or decoration specifically awarded to members of the United States Armed Forces who have been wounded or paid the ultimate sacrifice in combat with the declared enemy of the United States of America. And it is one of the most recognized and respected medals awarded to members of the U.S. Armed Forces. And whereas purple was the original color of the badge of military merit created by George Washington, so logically the original color was used for the new medal honoring Washington's memory. Contemporarily, it is thought the color purple represents the blood of all those who have made sacrifices in war, but traditionally, the color is thought to represent the courage of those who served. And whereas National Purple Heart Day was first observed on August 7, 2014, this year, August 7, 2025, will be the 243rd anniversary of the creation of the Badge of Military Merit, which was the inspiration for today's Purple Heart. And whereas the sacrifices of men and women from the city of Edinburgh, Texas, who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining freedom to enjoy their ways of life. And whereas the Edinburgh City Council would like to remember and honor the many brave men and women that have served in the armed forces of the United States of America who are recipients of the Purple Heart Medal. Now therefore, the Mayor and Council of the City of Edinburgh, Texas, by power vested in them by law, do hereby recognize August 7, 2025 as National Purple Heart Day and encourage all citizens to remember and honor those who were wounded on the battlefield or paid the ultimate sacrifice with their lives.
This is for all our Purple Heart recipients and military heroes that served our country, and we will present this to our American Legion posts. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to item 5, public comments.
Yes, sir, Mayor. The Edinburgh City Council allows for a specific portion of the City Council meeting to be dedicated to public comments. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes. I will be taking time. Please note that this public comment period is not interactive. The Council may not respond to public comments. At this time, Mayor and Council, there are 10 public comments. The first public comment is Jaime Ayala regarding National Night Out.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jaime Ayala, Police Chief. Just wanted to share and remind everybody in our community that tomorrow night is the Super Bowl for us in policing, the Super Bowl of community engagement. It's our 29th annual National Night Out, and we're going to have carnival, animals, we're going to have car show, music, the Fabulous Cruisers, expecting a special appearance by Bobby Pulido. We'll be inside the Ace as well with some other dance presentations and whatnot. It's going to be a fabulous night. Starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow, goes all the way till 10 o'clock, so we just want to make sure the community. We had this weather tonight. Our team is out there right now assessing any damage, so keep connected with our social media, and if there's any changes to tomorrow night, we'll let you know. But please come out, and we'll have a backpack giveaway as well. So please come out and enjoy our 29th annual National Night Out.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
The next public comment is Chief Omar Garza regarding the weather.
Good evening, Mayor Garza and City Council. Omar Garza, Edinburgh Fire Chief for the record. So about 4:30 this afternoon, we received a weather alert from the National Weather Service about some severe weather north of the county line. About that time, we sent out a code red to all our department heads to notify them that there's some severe weather coming and to be prepared. So north of town, we received a pretty good heavy amount of rain. It seems like it's kind of bypassing us right now, but we did receive some heavy wind and gusts that knocked down several canopies out for Mr. Ayala's event for tomorrow, but we're getting those set up. So we just advise the public just to keep monitoring the weather. This should be done within the next, I say, 30 to 40 minutes. We should be out of it. So just keep on monitoring the weather. All the city department heads are well aware of it ahead of time, and we're doing all we can. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The next public comment is Javier Garza regarding the triathlon.
Good evening. I just want to invite everybody, Mayor and Council, thanks for having me here. This Sunday, August 10th, 7:30 in the morning, is going to be our 5th annual triathlon. It's at capacity already. We have 350 runners signed up. People call us to come and open it up, but for the safety, we have to keep it at a minimum. So I want to invite everybody out here, the community, to come witness some great athletes. It involves swimming, and then bicycling, and then running as well. And it's a pretty tough event. So I welcome everybody out from the community to come and watch us, watch our fabulous athletes and runners, and of course, Mayor and Council, you can join us August 10th, Sunday at 7:30. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next public comment is Jacqueline Baez Lugo regarding a citizen's concern.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jacqueline Baez Lugo. I'm an Edinburgh resident. I'm here to address number 10, which is election. I know election, some of you guys are running for city council and mayor. I've seen your signs. You look very well. Also, there's people behind me. They're also candidates. But what I'm here to address is I'm not going to vote for anybody just for your pretty face. So what I want your campaign trail, there's some problems that we also have in the city. Obviously, it's raining, so we all know there's flooding problems all over the valley. That's not just Edinburgh. But I want you in your campaign to make sure you address those issues. Also, obviously, the floods, and also I know about the drainage. We know that's also a whole county issue, but I want to know what you want to do as a city council. What can you do to address those problems? Also, we have problems with the sanitations. Last year, my apartment complex, for some reason, had an issue with the city, and we had like a whole week they didn't pick up the trash. So that is not a very nice thing. But I've seen other places where sometimes the trash accumulated. So I want to know what's going on with that. And also, development is great. I love the city is growing. I'm very proud. But we want to make sure that we are not giving more problems for us, and also we want to make sure we take care of our parks, our green areas, and also our potholes, definitely. And also, I would like to see some of these things in the agenda. I mean, we see a lot of taxes and stuff like that, but we want to see also environmental issues. Obviously, we know the heat and all that stuff is happening, so we want to make sure what can the city do to improve the life of the people regarding those issues. And this is also for everyone listening. Don't give your vote to anyone just for their pretty face or because they're your friends. Make sure you give your vote to people that are actually going to work for the city and people that actually care for you as a citizen. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next public comment is Donato Amaya regarding golf advisory. All right.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
My name is Donato Amaya Jr. Everybody calls me Donut. The reason I'm here is we've been having some issues the last couple of months, and it's been lingering on for about 6 to 8 months. And I just wanted to address on behalf of not just our past director of golf, but also the director of Parks and Recreation and yourselves. Because of you guys, we've implemented a 5-year plan that took off last year. And most people in the public in our community are not aware of the good things that have happened for the quality of golf in our community. For example, Ebony Golf Course, it's got new bridges, new cart paths, new carts, to name a few. Los Lagos this year, because of you guys, in 20 years we have not had new sand traps. And because of you guys and our past director of golf, and our Parks and Rec directors, we have new sand traps, and we want to thank you for that. We also have the state-of-the-art when it comes to our cart paths. If you compare our new cart paths that happen on your guys' leadership, they are above as far as technology compared to McAllen, other golf courses here in the valley, so we want to thank you for that. And we have also made some other improvements. One of the things that most people don't know about Los Lagos Golf Course, under our leadership, under director, which at that time was Juan de la Cruz. For the 4 years that he was here, the most people don't know in the community that he was profitable. He showed a profit. Unfortunately, we lost him to the sister McAllen, the city of McAllen, because of the pressures, constant pressure that was bestowed upon him, and it was affecting his health, and he had to move. The sad thing about it is the city of McAllen took him a better position and better pay, and I hate losing talent like that. And so I hope we can understand and make sure that doesn't happen again. The other concern that I have is on June 24th, I believe, we had some incidents at Los Lagos, and it's affecting the quality and the culture and the environment of our staff out there. We have an armed police officer on hand because we had some disagreements. We've also lost an employee for indecent, just stuff, you know. So that I believe needs to come to your attention, and I hope you're on top of it, because we, part of the community, I myself have lived here in Edinburgh all my life. My kids went through the school system here, graduated out of the university. We're from Edinburgh. We love this city, and so we want to make sure that we address and bring everything to you guys so that you know that not all is negative. There are many good things that are happening, and
Thank you, Mr.
thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The next public comment is Mario Guerrero regarding Golf Advisory Board.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm just going to go ahead and add to what Mr. Donato here was stating. I just want to say thank you to all you here. I know that there's people that are running for positions here for the city of Edinburgh, and I hope people understand how difficult it is to be in the public view and to have to answer to people when things go negative, because people tend to forget the positive things that happen on the day-to-day basis. The things with the golf course, there's so much positivity that has happened and so many positive changes that has happened since I got appointed to be on the advisory board. And all we are is an advisory board. All we can do is advise to the game that we love. To me, the game of golf is something that I play to get away from my reality, which is running my businesses, right? So I just want to say thank you to the mayor here, Mr. Ramiro and Jason, because I'm that citizen that will text them at any given time of the day, and I'm very grateful that you guys reply. And to the people that are running, take note of that, because at the end of it all, citizens like myself, I admire that, and I will vote for the people that I know are going to answer my call. So I appreciate you guys. I know that the golf courts still needs a lot of help. I would like to see improvements with the facility itself. It would be nice to see the facility from the new stadium and look at a beautiful field house eventually, but that's just my vision. But I just want to say thank you to you two for always being there and answering the call whenever I call and text. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The next public comment is Juan Garcia, supporter of the Los Lagos and Ebony golf courses.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Councilman, City Manager, neighbor. My name is Juan Garcia. I'm a resident of Edinburgh. I'm a retired federal agent residing Lumen Subdivision, hole number 7 of Los Lagos Golf Course. I'm a volunteer golf course marshal and president of the Golf Advisory Board. I have been playing golf for over 20 years. I'm not an expert in any way. I do believe I have enough knowledge about golf to be able to lend advice. I've been made aware of certain individuals making public derogatory comments on social media and about city management, golf advisory board, greenskeepers, golf course conditions, and employees. It's out there in social media. One of our golf advisory board members invited said individuals to attend a meeting of the board and voice their concerns and comments in person. There was no reply to the invite. The individual posting most of the negative comments engaged the Parks and Recreation Director in a verbal dispute, trying to initiate a physical confrontation at the clubhouse. I was a witness to that. He had a subject hiding out of view behind the clothes, recording the incident. And they didn't post that on social media because it looks bad for him. The whole situation appeared to be initiated with forethought and malice. The subject was charged with trespassing. The subject has also gone as far as to infuse politics into the situation. He states that voting the mayor out of office and changing golf managers would be the perfect fix. I believe this fix is unrealistic. The course is one of the best in the Rio Grande Valley, and any issues that do exist are being addressed. We have replaced 100 golf carts in the past year. We have replaced decades-old bridges at Ebony Golf Course and redone the cart paths. The Parks Recreation Director are actively involved working on the golf course. They're very supportive and attend the golf advisory meetings. Currently, we have a full-time security guard at the Los Lagos Golf Course. It should not have come to that to get respect from the public. I volunteer over 10 hours a week at the golf course to keep it in great condition. All our businesses in our great city benefit from the local golf courses. I believe we should all do what is best for the betterment of our golf courses and our community and not just badmouth them. I'm very proud of the city, its residents, and all its leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The next public comment is Diane Teeter. State versus local control.
Good evening, Diane Teeter. Do you recall the saying, caught between a rock and a hard place? I'd like to use this saying to compare state government control versus local city needs. The state of Texas imposes Chapter 174, which requires cities to offer competitive pay and working conditions for police and fire personnel. Yet the city of Edinburgh must fund raises for police and fire departments to remain competitive and meet staffing needs, caught between a rock and a hard place. The state imposes school funding formulas but limits how much cities can raise revenue without triggering voter approval. The state is still not adequately funding our public schools and yet has added a costly voucher program which has proven to be budget busting in both Florida and Arizona. Yet the city relies on local property taxes and is expected to deliver high quality services while facing state revenue caps and state-driven spending priorities that undermine our own local infrastructure, caught between a rock and a hard place. What must the city also do? One of our regular commenters stating, we don't need an airport, but look up in the sky to see drones to jets, and what century are we living in? The airport is important for hurricanes and evacuations, and the city must seek grants for our South Texas International Airport, and due to the diligent work of our city's grant department, the state of Texas has awarded an investment of $20 million over the last 2 legislative sessions. The airport is also important for security operations. We should also all be very concerned that the chief patrol agent of the Rio Grande Valley sector, who is a Brownsville native and advocate for community outreach, was unexpectedly removed from her position and escorted from the building. Lobbying. The city must advocate for state legislative changes to loosen tax caps or increase aid, but proposed Senate Bill 12 for 2025 would prohibit local governments on hiring lobbyists to navigate complex funding channels for FEMA and U.S. Department of Transportation grants. The responsibilities would shift lobbying to elected officials and city staff who have plenty to do as is, caught between a rock and a hard place. Thank you for doing your difficult job and serving the community. It is very appreciated, and I would like to leave you with a temperature comparison of green spaces and asphalt.
Thank you, ma'am.
The next public comment is Ms. Firma Clarity regarding taxpayers' money.
Before I get into my comments, I want to invite everyone to our next Tea Party meeting. It will be August the 7th, which is this Thursday at Denny's in McAllen on Nolana. Our guest speaker will be the McAllen Mayor, Javier Villalobos, and we will be discussing the impact of city tax rates and the international trade. Everyone is welcome, and you can ask him questions yourself. No one asked, but the McAllen tax rate is 46 cents, and it was lowered this last session. The Edinburgh rate is 63 cents, and we are moving toward a 67% water rate increase. But my primary focus today is to remind you that in November we have an election that includes 3 members of this council, and it is important that you vote. Vote for the one that promises to provide the basics. That's the police, fire, streets. Not the ones that you like. are the ones that will say they will give you more without increasing taxes. If he or she says that it will not increase taxes, they lie. No one gives something for nothing, especially a politician. In reference to the November election, there are 17 propositions. So everyone needs to go find them, look them over before you go to vote. There are 3 bills that will reduce your taxes. One, the exemption on the business property tax. The second one increases the homestead exemption from $100,000 to $140,000. Third, increases the homestead exemption to $200,000 for homeowners that are over 65 or disabled. Remember, there are 17 propositions on the ballot. Please take note that we need to check on these. We need to vote for the ones that will help the taxpayers. It is also important to remember that Governor Abbott has promised to further restrict the city and the counties from increasing property taxes. And I would also like everyone to please keep praying for Israel and for getting the hostages that are alive and the ones that are not, so that families can grieve with their family members, and pray that Israel wins this war, because they didn't start it. I don't like bullies, so I'm hoping that everyone will pray for Israel. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. McClarty also has questions on item 7A, 11C, and 11D. The last public comment is Obed Montoya regarding pay raise.
I don't have a written statement for y'all. I love you, Jason. I love you, David. I love you, Mayor. I love you, Dan. But my thing tonight is to exonerate Mr. David White. He is a good man. He is. And Jerry, you have big shoes to fill. Big ones. When you go back there in the back and eat the buffet, all these guys are going to hug you and tell you they love you. Don't believe it. You ran on your own record. Ran on that. They're going to love you and take you fishing and hunting to the island and everything. I'm your man. I can take care of that. But you will understand that this is an honorable position. Don't get bribed. Don't. Now, my statement to you, Ramiro, is tonight, the Public Works needs 5 sweeping trucks. Let me say that again. The Public Works only has 1 sweeping truck for the 110,000 residents of Edinburg, Texas. You hear me? 1 sweeping truck for 110 residents. Work with me, man. Come on. We elected you to be mayor against the big shot Molina, and you have not done that. Karma is bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your sister died. Work with me, please. If you want to run for any position besides the mayor, take care of this community first, okay? Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're going to move on to item 6A, public hearing. I'm going to open the public hearing at this time for, I don't know if you read the item now, or the hearing is now open for anyone that wishes to comment on this zoning change. We only have 1 item tonight. So if you're here to speak on any of this item, you can come to the podium at this time. If there's nobody here, I'll close the public hearing. Council? Well, I'm sorry, we're going to read the item. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Consider the ordinances providing for the comprehensive plan amendment from outer urban uses to multifamily residential uses and the rezoning request from residential primary district to residential multifamily district being the south half of Lot 11 and the south half of Lot 12, Block 98, original town site of Edinburg, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the amended map of or plat thereof recorded in Volume 1, page 23, map records, Hidalgo County, Texas, located at 221 West Van Wyck Street, as requested by Ivan Llanos.
Council?
I'll make a motion, we go with staff's recommendation and deny the zoning change.
We have a motion to deny. Is there a second?
Second with discussion.
We have a second. Go ahead, sir.
The reason why staff decided to go with a denial on this or requested that?
Yes, Mayor and Council. Jaime Acevedo, Planning and Zoning Director, for the record. The reason we recommend denial is because of the size of the lot. To do a multifamily lot, you need 8,000 square feet. There are some multifamilies in the area, but they're on bigger lots. So when this went to the P&Z, it was denied 4-1 by P&Z as well.
All right, any further comments? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We're going to move on to item 7, variance. We have one variance under item A. Council?
Consider variance request to the City of Edinburgh Unified Development Code, Article 3, Law and Design Standards, Section 3.202, Standards for Non-Residential and Mixed-Use Development, Table 3.202-2, Non-Residential and Mixed-Use Building Placement Standards, as described, located at 1102 North Business Highway 281, as requested by JSCJ Investments LLC.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? If not, I think you had a comment, Ms. Fern.
I'll try not to. Just, again, variances for individuals or for, I like it for when y'all do homeowners, and that happens very seldom that you pass them. And so I had 2 questions on this. I looked up on your 300 foot or yards or whatever it is around, and I questioned him because instead of being a perfect oval, they dropped it down conveniently because there are a few homes there, because there's nothing here. No one's there, and you're mailing out anything to ask the public what they think. And again, I don't know if y'all ever look up the backup, but this is asking the rear yard, the city that y'all have voted on and put into the system here is 10. And then you've got the front and exterior side yards are 25. Side yards are 5. So I'd just like you to explain to the public, because I got the phone call on it, how you're able to make the motion, second it so quickly without checking and seeing what the problems could be with this piece of property.
Before he addresses it, Ms. Fern, so we have to have, because of Robert Rules of Order, we got to have motion in order for us to discuss it. But that's why there was motions. But go ahead, Mr. Hyman.
Yes, Mayor. On this particular property, it's an irregular lot. That's why we don't follow the perfect square. We follow the shape of the lot 300 feet to all directions.
But did we put a sign in the front?
Yes.
Like we do? Okay.
Also, with regards to the variance, what they're asking for is a variance because they're plotting a lot that has some buildings already on it. So those buildings have a 0-foot setback currently. So that's why they requested the variance. Now, my recommendation was for any future lots to meet the new setbacks, which are in place. But the P&Z did grant them the variance as requested to stay at 0. And their reasoning was that there was nothing on the south side.
And they're doing a commercial plaza, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and just for Fern's comments, this is the first time in our administration that we put signs on the property because of the reason that not everybody gets notified. So I think that's a big plus. And the reason I voted for it was because I like it when there's a little give and take from the owner or residents and also from the city. And the recommendation was they would allow this because they have existing buildings and not ruin the facade, the look, as long as they were in agreement that anything past this development would follow the setbacks. That's why I voted in favor of it.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're going to move on to item 8, awarding of bids. Council, from items A through D, I would like to request a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and just to explain to our new council member, which we did not even welcome, I want to welcome our newest council member, Jerry Liz. After all that, welcome to your first meeting. with the storm coming in and everything, but everything worked out. That's kind of how the city operates. Everything we went through in the beginning, that's how it operates. Like, whoa, lights are out, what's going on? And then so we're back on track. So, but welcome to newest council meeting. I asked for suspending the rules because that's when we could, before making motions, we can have discussion on the items to be able to, before we vote. So I think there's a presentation that is going to be made. So so we have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So we're going to take up item A. You want to read the item this time?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Consider awarding RFP number 2025-09, Group Employee Benefit Products 2025 through 2026, and authorize the city manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement related thereto.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Erica Vai, Director of Human Resources. And this evening, we do have a presentation from our benefits consultants, Valley Risk Consulting, and we have Roger Garza, we have Jonathan Sokolensky, and we have Javier Leal. And let me go ahead and get the presentation ready.
To put it on
we could see it on the screen here, but not on those.
Correct.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is, yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Well, congratulations, Mr. Lozano. Welcome to the first meeting. It's kind of eventful, the first night. So my name is Jonathan Sokolensky, with one of the consultants with Valley Risk Consulting. With me today, we have our senior consultant, Roger Garza, and Javier Leal for analytics. So we went out for multiple RFPs. We went out for your medical, we went out for stop loss, went out for PBM and voluntary products. We wanted to make sure that the city was getting the best benefits for their employees. So with that being said, there's just a clicker. How do I go to the next slide? Right here? There you go. Oh, nice, there you go. So before we dive into the proposals, we did go out for medical for fully insured and self-funded. Currently, the city has been fully insured for the last since 2022, or actually before that. But we're going to go over some historical data so you can kind of have the best advice, which way we're going to go with either fully insured or self-funded. So if you look, we've been with Blue Cross in the plan year of 2022 to 2023. We had almost $8.8 million in premium. And as far as the claims go, we had about $5.3 million that went to medical claims and right under $2 million for pharmacy, with an annual total of 7.3. So what the difference is how much we spent in premium versus how much we spent in claims. So if you just look at strictly numbers-wise, almost $1.5 million that the carrier at the time, which was Blue Cross, actually made off the city. So they made a pretty substantial amount on the city. Same thing with 2023 to 2024. We had an increase in premium, almost $9.7 million. Claims went up a little bit as well at 7.8, but we had an increase in the difference of $1.88 million, which that means that Blue Cross retained that much more in the difference in the premium. Same thing is, this is when you're fully insured. If we were self-funded, the city would have retained that difference. So we could have increased, the claims fund in those 2 years, but we were fully insured. From 2024 to current, we had a prorated number. We had about 7.3 million. If we finish out the whole 12 months, we're going to be right at what we were for 2023, 2024, right under the $9.7 million mark. So right now we are at $397 in difference between the annual claims versus the premium. We are forecasting around up to about 800,000, where we're going to be looking at. So it's a little bit lower than we were in the previous years, but we did an analytical review of the Tier 2 report, and we did find that if we were self-funded in this year so far, we had 4 claimants that would have hit the stop loss. And what stop loss insurance is, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're stopping the loss. So if a claim goes over a certain amount, like we're going to show later on in this presentation of a specific deductible, the spec, then that claim gets paid by the stop loss carrier. So if we in fact did have were self-funded and stop loss was in effect, we would have actually had, I believe it was $781,000 back to the city. So we would have forecasted roughly about $1.6 million. What we see would have gone back to the city for this year, the way we're running currently, if we were self-funded. So moving on. Any questions so far?
Yeah, real quick. So just to be clear, I mean, I appreciate that, layout to understand it. But if our claims would have been higher, we wouldn't have had to pay that much more, right? In that case, it would have been covered either way if the claims would have been higher, right?
Or say that again?
If the claims would have been more than what we paid in premium, the city wouldn't have had to pay.
No, yeah, those claims would have been covered by the stop loss.
They would have been covered. No, since we're fully insured, there was no stop loss, right? So
yes, right now there was no stop, or currently or previously in the previous years there were no stop loss.
But
in 2023 and 2024, we did not do an analytical dive into that. I'm sure the stop loss would have been hit, so that would have been even more that the city would have gotten back.
Right. Okay.
I have a question. So right here, your table shows premium, medical, pharmacy, and other costs, actual payouts, and that you're comparing our totality and cost versus the payouts, correct?
Correct.
How do we guarantee that we get the same rates as these insurances? When we pay for an ER visit, an X-ray, how do we, being self-funded, how are we guaranteed the same rates?
Well, it's still the same contract. So Blue Cross, you're using different networks. So in this case, you're using Blue Cross. They have the same negotiated rates if you're fully insured or self-funded.
But we still keep the same carrier, only that we're paying.
Well, if we decide tonight, yes, that we did have a self-funded option from Blue Cross, and that's what we're going to be actually recommending later on. But it would be the exact same. The networks, all the discounts are exactly the same from fully insured, level funded, or self-funded.
So if that's the case, why would Blue Cross let us self-fund with their rates? But how do they make money?
Well, you'll see later on, they make money on the prescription drugs, their network fees, all the admin fees. That's how they still make money if they go self-funded.
So Mayor, I think your question was, if we're paying this premium of, let's say, 9.6, and we had more annual payouts, like 10 million.
Claims, yeah.
Guess what? We'll see that increase the next term.
Right.
So because our loss ratios would have been a lot higher.
Right, no, but just for comparison, we wouldn't have to pay that given time, that amount.
No, but you'll see on your renewal.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to make sure, I understand the whole concept, yeah. Okay.
So maybe this will help a little bit more. So we did a little side-by-side for fully funded versus self-funded. The fully funded is where we've been at the last few years. It's simple, more simplistic. There's no risk, but the cons are that, as you've seen right here, we could have saved money. They have a higher cost. There's no customization, the lack of transparency. You lose the ability to audit claims, and there's no opportunities for savings. When you're self-insured, you can you take control over the plan. There's a lot of things you can do. You have access to data when you actually know it's 100% accurate. There's few regulations. And some of the cons, like the mayor was bringing up, is it is less predictable. But what we're looking at, the trend for the last few years is that this is a good risk to go self-funded, and we see that the potential savings is there. So that's and there's less regulations for the self-funded. So if we ever wanted to potentially in the future enhance plans, change plan designs, lower copays, that's something that's a lot easier to do whenever you're self-funded. So we're going to be going over first the fully insured. We did get 4 different carriers. We are showing, we're going to be showing the top 2 as of right now. We have on current. You see on the left, this will be your high plan, which will be the PPO plan, and then on the right you'll see the base plan, which is the HMO. So let's go over option 1 and 2 first. So currently we have a PPO for the high plan at $2,000 deductible with a max out of pocket of $6,500, which currently the city is paying $543.83 for the employee only rate. Before we went out to bid, we actually received the best and final offer of a 4.9% increase. We actually brought that down by going out to bid. We went down to a 3.5%. So this offering that they did supply in this RFP is actually lower than their best and final offer that they offered a few weeks ago. And I believe that was Ms. Jason's question about if we went out to bid, will we get better or worse? We did in fact get better on the fully insured offer, so it did get lower. So same thing with and right next to it, which was United Healthcare, there was Blue Cross, United Healthcare, Curative, and a Frontier, which Frontier is not a medical carrier, it's a direct primary contract, direct primary care. They did submit under this RFP. We did not list Curative on here. They were over 10.3 million, so that was considered to be in third place, so we just wanted to show the top two. But they did submit a bid, and we did evaluate that. As you can see on the low plan, currently we were at $522 with this HMO plan, a $1,250 deductible. We were at $522 even. We got it down to a 3.6. This is still lower than their 4.9% that they offered originally. So we did save on this going out for RFP down to a $540.91. And if you compare that to the United Healthcare offer, the United Healthcare offer is less, but when you compare that to the PPO is substantially more. So we looked at the Blue Cross being the more advantageous offering when you consider both plans side by side. And the total premium you'll see on the bottom right, you'll see that Blue Cross came in right under $10 million, 9.986. United Health, and this is including the retirees. With United Healthcare, it was almost $10.2 million. Oh, it came in. So now we're going to look at the self-funded option that we did receive from Blue Cross. But I wanted to kind of put together a little puzzle to let you all know how do you build a self-funded medical plan. So one, you're going to need a third-party administrator. And what is a third-party administrator? That is the person who pays all your claims, who administers all the processes all the claims. If you go to your primary care, you go to your urgent care, ER specialist. That's who pays everything. And typically you're going to see a Blue Cross, United Healthcare, Aetna, Texas Health Benefit Pool, and then there's a million other private third-party administrators out there, but that's who just pays the claim. And the medical network, this is all your big networks, Blue Crosses, United Healthcares, Aetnas. Humana was big, but now they're no longer doing public sector or even private. Aetna, there's still is First Health. There's a ton of different networks out there, but the big ones still are going to be Blue Cross, United Healthcare, and Aetna. And PBM, the Pharmacy Benefit Manager. This, we did actually go out for bid as well, so there is a few other independent PBM bids, and then there is one where they bundle the TPA and the PBM with Blue Cross. And you'll see later on that it is a very, very strong offer. And then last but not least, I mentioned earlier about the stop loss to help pay for all those claims, all the big losses. This is what we also went out to bid to. So these are the four pieces of the RFPs that went out, as well as I believe went out for voluntary products.
We've never had a stop loss, correct? This is the first time going this route?
First time going this route, first time looking at it.
And in your professional opinion, is this the best route to go compared to what we did the last few years? This is the best route with the stop loss?
Oh yes, we're going to definitely need stop loss. Yes, this is going to help protect us in case the city does run high risk, and we do have, more cancer patients and more. So we risk, if we have $8, $9, $10, $11 million in the claims, well, we have that stop loss to protect us to keep it on track. It's kind of like when you go bowling, when you have the rails that they pop up. That's what stop loss is. It just makes sure.
Are you seeing more and more cities going this route?
The larger cities, yes. It's not something you recommend for a smaller city. Anyone under 100, 150, you take it's a higher risk. You guys have the volume to take that risk because you have the size. A smaller town around 80, 90, 100, they don't typically take these risks. They either go fully insured or level funded. So So this next slide we're going to be going over, this is Blue Cross and Blue Shield's ASO, Administrative Service Only. So this is the self-funded option that they did submit. And we believe this is a very strong offer because you're going to see it's actually going to be a negative fee to go self-funded. So we have to go over the administrative costs, administrative fees. What's it going to cost for us to actually go self-funded? Well, we have to actually pay Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever the TPA is. What's it going to cost? So the administration fee, we have 1,100 employees on the census. At each one is going to be charged $36.61. That's your base rate. The stop loss carve out, it's $1, and we're going to be recommending to carve out from the bund. So we did get a stop loss quote from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It was not in the best interest of the city. It was higher, and the spec was actually about $70,000 more than the one we're going to be recommending, and it was also about $500,000 more in cost. So we thought that $1 stop loss carve out for $13,000 to pay that versus $400,000 or $500,000 more in premium is well worth it. So they did recommending the stop loss carve out. Well-being management. This is a comprehensive suite of well-being management programs, benefits, resources, basically mental health support, diabetic and hypertension support. We definitely recommend that. And the EAP sessions, employee assistance programs, we always want to include that for definitely the firefighters and first responders. Virtual care visits with BH, medical rebate credit, and prescription drug rebate credit. So this is where we're going to be recommending to go with Blue Cross Blue Shield's PBM, the Pharmacy Benefit Manager Prime, is because they've offered us so much in credits to the city. So you'll see that we have about almost $1.3 million in credits that they're offering the city. So it's actually negative $636,000 to go self-funded with Blue Cross. And what does that mean? What it means is that they're going to be crediting us that amount of money to go self-funded. So where can we use that money? We can use this to already pay for some claims. So this can be credited for claims. And also on top of that, the city, on this self-funded bid, the city gets reimbursed up to $35,000 for wellness for its employees. They're offering, this can be used for $25,000 for consulting services and $10,000 for the fund. This can be, I believe, in your attachments, there's a million different things that you can use that $35,000 for. There's like 5Ks, there's gym memberships, there's luncheons for your employees. There's a ton of different things that you can use those funds for. So this is the other piece of the puzzle for your stop loss medical program. So this is what we were talking about. We put the top 5 options here with Liberty Mutual and Voya. As you can see, we saw the most advantageous with the Liberty Mutual quote. This is for $125,000 spec annual deductible. So what this means is if an employee has claims that reach more than $125,000, this stop loss will start paying for all those claims after that amount. And we do like the fact that it does have a specific deductible. Consider that like a max out of pocket. So once the claims get over that amount, then everything gets paid. So we believe this is the most advantageous at $1.4 million. We did have one, like I mentioned earlier, one came in from other stop loss carriers. We saw one with Blue Cross that was $195,000 specific deductible versus this $125,000, and it was more expensive. You did see some other competitive ones with Voya. There was also some other proposals from Frontier, but they were bundled together and they couldn't be carved separately. So we see the most competitive offer being with the Liberty Mutual. So after saying all of that, what does it all mean? What does it mean if we go self-funded or what if we go fully insured? So what we have here is, like I mentioned earlier, we have negative $636,000 after all the credits were all said and done. If you look at adding everything together, the stop loss, the admin fees, the pharmacy benefit manager, everything, we're estimating that we're going to be contributing $9.08 million up to this claims fund if we go self-funded. And our contributions that we're going to be recommending, because we always want to be conservative in how we budget for these. So we want to always fund more, because what if something happens that's catastrophic? What if we have 10, 12, 20 different cancer patients or people that are going to be having high claims? That's why we budget for those what ifs. What if something happens? So if you look at the estimated contributions, we're going to be asking that the city does 9.7 versus the 9.08. So that's what we're going to be recommending, and this is still less than what the fully insured option was of $9.98 million with Blue Cross.
So the total, just, can you go back real quick? The total would be the 9,088,000 or 9.7?
So that's our estimated annual self-funded cost. That's what we think it's going to trend at to be what's 9.08 million, but we're recommending to fund it at the 9.7 million, just in case of the what ifs happened. We want to make sure we have enough money in the claims fund to fund all the claims. It's better to overfund than underfund, to be more conservative.
And does that include the credits?
That includes,
rebates?
yes, that includes
Okay.
everything.
And those credits are in what form? I mean, do we get a check for that, or how does the city get that?
So on this form with the prescription drug rebates and all the credits, that actually gets used in the claims fund. They're going to keep using it. They're basically going to use that up first when the first claims come in. They're going to start crediting that away. But with the other 35,000 that you're talking about, that can be used to be reimbursed to the city.
So the top part, 636,000, which is the administrative fee, that's I guess a credit, right? The total.
Well, the total credits are almost 1.269 million, but the actual cost of the fixed fees, you take the 1.69 minus the actual fixed fees, and you're going to get 636,000. Let me go back. Is it this one? There you go. So the administrative fee, it's about $484,000. Then you add up all the other fees, and you're going to get that. The difference is going to be that minus the 1.242 million. So that's why you still have the credit of the 636. It's basically 1.242 or 1.24 plus the 33,000. That's your credit, then minus all your actual costs, which are the administration fee, the stop loss carve out, well-being management, and all those other EAP sessions and the virtual visits.
And this is to go self-funded for the Blue Cross Blue Shield. But so that's, for example, that's item A. For example, if council does go that route, but if council does go that route, then what if on item C for the pharmacy benefit, there's somebody else selected? So is Blue Cross still going to honor that rate that they're proposing as part of the group health? If for some reason, right, because it's another item, we went out separately for the pharmacy. I'm just, wondering, would they still hold those rates?
Yes, sir. Honorable Mayor and members of the council, I'm Roger Garza, I'm senior consultant at the office. So just for the sake, you have a decision to make on the other proposals. What Blue Cross did is they bundled up their pharmacy inside their administrative services. And actually, the cost was almost zero. But if you go to those proposals that they submitted, there's a $75,000 fee to administer that program on all of them, basically on the average. So if you decline their offer over here, they take back their $1.2 million, and then we have to rely on the other pharmacy benefit managers to credit you back on a monthly or quarterly basis 9 months out. So we'll be 9 months behind schedule. So what Blue Cross has done is they've made it very convenient. So technically, they've deposited a $1.2 million check to get started. The other entities will do it 9 months later.
Well, because
So-
that's all they do, the pharmacy, I guess, right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
They're not a health care,
You're
service.
absolutely right. All they do is contract with, CVS, Walgreens, and all they do.
I was just wondering, I mean, obviously
It's
it's
a good
listed.
point, though. It really
Yeah,
is.
and I had talked to city staff about this. I wish we had an item that allowed us to vote whether self-funded or fully funded, because right now, I know the option's there, but it's just not worded. But anyway, I know we I'd just like to be very open, it doesn't show it, but I appreciate, first of all, the work that y'all did, 'cause this is all about helping save for our employees, and we appreciate that, so, having these options.
I got a quick question. Just if on the medical plan, if we were to go from fully insured to self-funded, what is the transition, for people may have right now current treatments? Is there any transition period or?
There's no waiting periods, no transition periods. The reason that Blue Cross actually has the leg up on everybody else because you're right, there's people that have surgery scheduled for next month, or actually November. We don't want to have any disruption. So technically, they would just be walking in just as if you were fully funded as well.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure on that because that was the only question I really had. And I just want to make it easy for staff and everybody to just continue with their same ID cards or whatever it is, whatever program we decide to go to.
The easiest way that we can describe it is instead of the city writing a check to Blue Cross, they just debit the amount that you spend. That's the difference between self-funded and fully funded.
The only question I have, gentlemen, there's no change of coverage, right? All the benefits, the options, MD Anderson, all that, nothing gets changed. Thank you.
Because my question is for staff. Do you all feel comfortable, I guess for our city manager, would you all feel comfortable with this change that we're going towards? Or well, we haven't voted on it yet, but did you feel comfortable going with this recommendation?
So I believe because I'm not certified in the insurance industry, I may not be able to make a recommendation. However, after meeting with the consultants, and first of all, I want to thank the council for allowing us the opportunity to seek out an RFP. I know that Councilmember Salazar is in the industry, so we kind of lean on him as well for his expertise. But it allowed us to be able to save money, whether it's self-funded or fully funded. So I want to thank the council for that. We always want to be able to not sacrifice any of the benefits, for our employees, and in fact, continue to enhance them and see how we can save money for them without sacrificing the services and whatnot. And of course, save money for the taxpayers in the city and whatnot. Whichever way the council decides to go, obviously we'll expedite the process in order to enroll all of the employees and continue providing the health services that they so greatly deserve. I'm not sure if I can really answer that question to say either way. I think it's probably the best decision that response that I can make based on whatever decision the council makes. But I'm very comfortable with the information that they've provided. Like I mentioned, we did meet with them. They explained it very thoroughly. I can certainly see where the city would possibly be able to save some money, especially in the first slide where it showed us how much money we left on the table by just leaving it with Blue Cross and Blue Shield without being self-funded. In reserving those funds for any future expenses or payouts, and making sure that we have those contributions in our pockets instead of someone else's. So I hope that answers your question. But first of all, I did want to mention that, and thank you for the opportunity because I wanted to mention that to council, and thank you all for going out allowing us to go out for these RFPs.
I do have another question for the consultant. Could you go to page 6, please, the presentation? Let me see. I see a page 6 on. Okay, go down one more. I don't know why mine says page 6, and I see fully funded.
Fully funded?
Let me see. Fully funded versus self-funded. Well, that's page 6 also. Well, 3. Is it the white numbers? I don't see the white. Maybe page 4. Yeah, right there. The very bottom asterisk. Retirees included. 85 retirees. Could you talk about that?
Councilman, I believe the city provides a retirement program for its retirees and allows them to access the benefits up until the age of 65, and then they have to go into Medicare or actually it's Medicare. Actually,
I'm very happy that's included. Just for Councilman Lozano, who just joined the council. When we learned when we got on council that had been taken out before in the insurance. If you worked for the city for 20 years, retired, and you were not of Medicare age, you would have to buy your own insurance. So I'm glad that's on there. So they would be covered if they decided to work for the city.
Yes, sir. There is no change in policy or procedure. It's just a transition from fully funded to self-funded. And as I and I casually say it, instead of you writing a check, they just debit your account. That's what.
And so as consultants like you, would you ever recommend to remove retirees?
No. No, I think they've dedicated their time to the city. They've given up, some of us, and I say some of us, pardon me, some individuals start up as young as 22 years old. By the time they're reaching 50 years old, they're in the process of either retiring or seeking a different career. And we owe, the public owes them access to quality health care.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Diaz, thank you for that question. I would like to commend this council for making sure that the retirees do continue with their health insurance. Like Mr. Garza mentioned, it is very important that we continue to appreciate their numerous years of dedicated service to the community, their countless hours, and, the least we can do is provide them health insurance for that peace of mind for themselves and for their families.
And Mayor, real fast, on the wording on A, the reason I think it didn't say both those on there, maybe we could have clarified that a little bit more. It's just when I sat down with consultants the first time, we looked at the increase and we said, you know what, let's go out for RFP and give us an option, because I know our claim ratios had gone down, and that's a big benefit for the city. So I asked them, hey, can you give us recommendations on proposals for fully funded and self-funded? Because to me, if we could help our employees, help staff, help the city save money, it's a value we're bringing to them by doing our due diligence.
Yeah. All right, so any other questions? Does that conclude your presentations, or?
Yeah, for this part, yes, only the recommendations is the last slide for this one. Our recommendation is to go self-funded with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and also bundle their PBM with Prime to take advantage of those credits. And then in the future, we can also look at providing some direct provider contracts to help lower our actual costs for the employees going to, say, a certain urgent care, to a certain facility, outpatient, inpatient. And then also down the road we can look at personal importation programs, so we can look at some international pharmacies for some of our more expensive drugs. Drugs that 8, 9, 10,000. We can start importing from tier 1 countries and have a substantial savings to the city. So by going self-funded, this is also another avenue we can do to save even more money on the drugs, and also provide them at a $0 copay for your employees.
Thank you. You mentioned gym memberships. I know that before the city employees were able to use different gyms, and there was a change in that. Is that a gym thing, or was that an insurance thing?
No, typically the carriers, they'll change every year who they have. Right?
What I'm referring to is that current employees like firefighters could go to multiple gyms under the program, and then there was a change. So was that the gym that doesn't accept them, or is that the insurance that changes the multiple gym ability?
So I know, are you talking about, I know they had one with Gold's Gym and Freedom Fitness and all that.
Yeah, they could choose several.
That's still available. I know that Blue Cross does offer multiple gyms. I can get and find out with the Blue Cross rep and find out which gyms it is. We can get that list for you guys.
And just a question in general, these are all for just carriers. This has nothing to do with agents or anything like that. This has to do all with the carriers and the benefits employees are getting.
Correct. There was no agent on the medical.
Okay. All right, and so back to on item A, just for staff. So if council proceeds with the self-funded, in that case, we have to have a third-party administrator. So is there another item, because I don't see it here, regarding that? Or is that part of the RFP, or how does that work?
So the RFP, the way it was worded, the TPA would be Blue Cross.
Right.
So you don't have to award a separate item because you're already awarding it, whether it's, if you decide to go or stay fully insured, then we don't need that. But if you are going self-insured and that's what you decide, then Blue Cross is a TPA. You don't need an extra, you don't have to award that. It's all together.
Okay, so for legal counsel, how does the wording of the motion need to be if counsel does want to go self-insured to make sure we cover?
So you're going to approve the recommendation of the consultant
Okay.
to award to self-insured.
Right, so when we wrote the RFP, the language in the RFP specifically says that we went out to bid for fully insured and self-insured and the TPA and all that. So even just with the one item, it includes everything that was in the RFP.
All right. Is there any other questions by council?
So you may want to put up the slide that he had there with his recommendation.
I don't know why. Yeah. IT's coming.
So the recommendation would be for going self-funded with the TPA being Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, the PBM being Prime with Blue Cross, and to go use the stop-loss carrier Liberty to be your stop-loss carrier.
So the stop-loss item would be
That's item
B. So let's start with
So let's
A.
start with item A. Council.
I make a motion to approve the consultant's recommendation.
And just again, for the record, that's the
self-funded.
self-funded option
Yes.
by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Okay. All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item B.
Consider awarding or rejecting RFP number 2025-010, stop loss insurance, medical and RX 2025-2026, and authorize the city manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement related thereto.
Council.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
And again, just for the record, can we name there?
Liberty.
Liberty Mutual.
Is that Liberty Mutual?
Yeah, Liberty.
All right, we have motion and second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item C.
Consider rejecting RFP number 2025-011, pharmacy benefit management 2025-2026.
So move.
Second.
We have motion and
Discussion.
second. Go ahead.
And this is because we're going to self-fund, correct?
Because we're going to self-fund, but we're also using Blue Cross's original bid with the bundle with the TPA.
Compared to what we have
Correct.
now.
Versus the standalone bid that they submitted.
Correct. Thank you.
All right. All in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item D.
Consider awarding RFP number 2025-08, employee voluntary benefits 2025-2026, and authorize the city manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement related thereto.
Okay, the last part that we went out for was the voluntary products for the city. This is your accident, your cancer, your critical illness, dental, disability, short and long term, hospital indemnity, legal, life and AD&D, permanent and universal life insurance, pet insurance, and vision. So we're gonna be we had a total of 24 carriers submit with over 74 different options. We're gonna go over every single one of them. There's going to be some recommendations that we recommend to change carriers and some recommendations to stay with certain carriers because it is still the best competitive bid for that particular line of coverage. So this is who the city currently has in place right now. Accident, we have the carrier Wellfleet. Cancer, we have Colonial Life. Critical illness, we have Wellfleet. Dental, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Disability, with Voya/Medicine National. Hospital indemnity with Colonial Life. Legal with Texas Legal. The life and ADD with Dearborn. Permanent universal life with Texas Republic. Pet insurance with Pet Partners. And vision as well with Dearborn. So let's go. So the first product we're going to go over is the accident product. We did have 11 proposals submitted from Aflac, American Fidelity, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Colonial, Manhattan Life, Mass Mutual, MetLife, New York Life, Hartford, Stanford, and Wellfleet. Our current carrier is Wellfleet. Let's see here. With cancer, the cancer RFP, we had 4 received from Aflac, Bay Bridge, Colonial Life, Manhattan Life, and Colonial Life is our current. Critical illness, we had a 10 different proposals submitted: Aflac, American Fidelity, Blue Cross, Colonial, Manhattan Life, Mass Mutual Life, MetLife, Hartford, Stanford, and Wellfleet. Current carriers, Wellfleet. Dental, we currently had 5 different proposals submitted: Aflac with Aflac, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Delta Dental, MetLife, United Healthcare. Our current carrier is Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Disability, another 5 proposals: American Fidelity, Blue Cross, New York Life, OCHS, and Securian Life, and the Standard. And our current carrier is Voya / Medicine Life. Hospital indemnity, we had 9 proposals: Aflac, American Fidelity, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Colonial Life, Manhattan Life, MetLife, New York Life, Securian Life, the Hartford, and the Standard. And our current carrier is Colonial Life. Legal, we had 3: MetLife Prepaid Legal with Legal Shield, and Texas Legal. Our current carrier is Texas Legal. The Life and AD&D, 4 different proposals received: American Fidelity, Blue Cross, MetLife, and the Standard. Current carrier is Dearborn. Permanent Life and UL, Mass Mutual, 4 proposals: Mass Mutual, MetLife, New York Life, Texas Republic Life. Current carrier is Texas Republic. And then the last 2, we have pet insurance. We had received 2 proposals from Aflac and MetLife. Current carrier is Pet Partners. And on the vision, we received 6 different proposals: Aflac with Davis Vision, Avisis, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Itopia, MetLife, National Vision Administrators. Our current carrier is Dearborn.
All right, and then, so, council, we have the recommendations, I guess, on the packet, if you see them, unless you want to go over them, but I'll ask for a motion at this time with what's being presented. I think there's some recommendations that I think staff has overseen as well. These are all for our employees, so I want to make sure that my only question is that obviously they don't lose out on any products that they have a part of.
We had a very good substantial benefit increase and a cost reduction on a lot of the products. Okay. So we're very happy with working with your staff. And we're even were able to, after they came in, we do a best and final offer, negotiated with the top carriers. We got them to come down even more. And then we even had them make sure they offered implementation credits for the tech credits. Because I know we wanted to look at maybe having our own benefit administration system. So we wanted to make sure we had the carriers help fund that going forward for the city. So we did have a good amount of tech credits built in with some of these carriers.
And I have a question. Our current agents they have relationships with all of these recommendations? They have no...
That is correct, sir. Yeah, we went out for product only, not agents.
But in the past, we've been told that some agents can't carry certain products or certain companies. Here, that doesn't.
No, we've actually looked and looked at your current agents, and they are appointed with all these carriers.
Okay, thank you.
All right, council, is there any motions on what's being recommended, the 11 products? And these are all products we currently have. Some are changing because I guess they didn't submit for renewal. Is that correct on some of them?
On some of them they didn't submit, but on some of them we did have, like I mentioned, we had the benefit increases. We are going to be remaining with a few, but I know that the ones we are changing, your accident, your hospital, we had a really good deal from the Hartford. That's going to be a changing carrier. We are going to be changing your vision to Aflac with Davis Vision. Very good network, very strong. We had an increase in some of the co-pays, increase in actual benefits, the frame allowance. You went from $150, if you go to Vision Works, you can actually increase to $200, and you have a lot of different $0 co-pays to it. So we enhanced the benefits and lower the cost. Same thing with the dental. We had a really big dental increase with the Blue Cross. We got that almost, I think it was in double digits. Now we got to under 5% increase. And they also gave a tech credit. So it was a win all across the board.
Okay, I'll make the motion to go with the consultant's recommendations on all 11 products.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for all your work.
We're going to move on to item E.
Consider authorizing the purchase of one 15 cubic yard combination sewer vacuum truck from Doggett Freightliner of South Texas LLC through the local government purchasing cooperative. Contract number 723-23 in the amount not to exceed $574,445.50.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Yes, sir.
If I may just make a correction on the size of the yardage, it's actually going to be a 16 cubic yard.
So not 15.
Not
Can we
15.
still vote on this? Okay.
Yeah, that's just a correction for the
All right.
record.
Okay, so just corrections, 16 cubic yards. Okay.
Yes, sir, it's actually in the code, but it was a
Okay.
mistake. Yes.
All right. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item F.
Consider awarding bid number 2025-17, reconstruction of one residence at 1907 East Cano, funded through the fiscal year 2024-2025 Community Development Block Grant Housing Assistance Program to Calidad Construction LLC in the amount of $115,000, and authorize the city manager to enter into a contract relating thereto.
So move.
Second. We have motion and a second. Any discussion? I just want to thank CDBG for these allocation of funds for reconstruction of residences. This is very helpful to
Well,
people in
thank
the
you.
community.
Thank you to the council. These are projects that were outlined in the 24-25 annual action plan. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, thank you. All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item G.
Consider awarding bid number 2025-19, reconstruction of one residence at 2118 Obdon Circle, funded through the fiscal year 2024-2025 Community Development Block Grant Housing Assistance Program to SKO Elite Repair LLC in the amount of $109,200, and authorize the city manager to enter into contract relating thereto.
Council.
So move.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item H.
Consider awarding bid number 2025-20, reconstruction of one residence at 1704 East Slope, funded through the fiscal year 2024-2025 Community Development Block Grant Housing Assistance Program to SKO Elite Repair LLC in the amount of $106,600, and authorize the city manager to enter into a contract relating thereto.
Council.
So move. Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're going to move on to item 9, budget. Item A.
Consider approving the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget transfers for the general fund and utility fund.
Motion approved.
Second. We have motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item B.
Consider certification of 2025 anticipated debt collection rate and 2024 excess debt collection.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion and a second. I just had a question for Mr. Alonso. Does this is for our new rate for this coming fiscal year?
Yes, this is our Cicero Loza, Director of Finance, Mayor and Council. This is we have our city in the County of Hidalgo. There are tax assessors collectors. Every year, they're required to certify to the Mayor and Council the anticipated collection rate. This is the anticipated collection rate for the 2025 City of Edinburgh for the tax year. So
it's the actual collection.
It is the actual collection rate.
It's at 100%?
It's at 100%.
All right. No problem. Thank you, sir. All right. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 10, election A.
Consider order of a municipal general election to be held November 4, 2025.
All right, council.
So move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. I just had a question. So this orders the election, and so I did want to just bring up, there is some state constitutional amendments on the ballot.
Yes.
Are we able to advise the public of that in terms of, as people ask about that? I remember, and there's a lot of them. I think there's like 17 of them. I just didn't know. I know this is for our election, but as part of the election, there's going to be all those constitutional amendments, and it's going to be the city, right, election.
Yes,
It should be on the sample ballot that will probably be available either on the county's website, state website, and ours as well.
All right.
Yeah, on that note, In past elections, we've known that when the constitutional amendments are there, sometimes it's very wordy, it confuses residents. I always wonder if we could get groups to help explain. Also, is it in Spanish? Is there somebody who could explain them in Spanish? We could reach out to county and see if they have any volunteers that can help do that, help speed up the voting process. What happens is you get in the booth, you have all these amendments, and like I said, sometimes they're wordy, they're confusing. If you vote yes, it's no, and if you vote no, it's yes. And so if we could get some sort of education also in Spanish for some of the people that it halts the voting process, the lines get longer. I think we should try and help the residents with that.
Yes, sir. I will send them the recommendation.
Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Council, under consent agenda, we already voted on item F, so can I get a motion? I want to take out item C and D. So is there a motion for the remaining items on consent A, B, E, G, H, and I?
So move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. C and D, I think there was a question on that, so we'll take those. So item C, we'll take that one first.
Yes, sir, Mayor. Consider authorizing the city manager to enter into professional services agreement between the City of Edinburgh and Meldon and Hunt for RFQ 2025-003 professional engineering services for U.S. Highway North 281 water distribution system improvements Phase 2 in the amount not to exceed $105,000 pursuant to the city's ordinances and procurement policies.
Council?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think you had a comment on that, ma'am?
I'm getting old sitting there so long. I talked to him earlier.
Okay.
I had a gentleman that just wanted to explain what this is, where it's at. So what you told me earlier, if you would tell it, that way they can hear. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Gerardo Carmona, Director of Utilities. So this project will actually be phase 2 for the water line relocations that we have to do due to the TxDOT improvements. that
From
are
what
happening.
area to what area is this?
So for this phase, for TxDOT, they're actually going to go from from where Chorizo San Manuel is, which is SH 186, all the way to the county line. For the city, actually we don't have water lines all the way over there. We actually have it past El Rucio, which is maybe 2.5 miles worth of water line work. But the TxDOT's going to go way further.
Okay. All right. All right, thank you. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item D.
Consider authorizing the city manager to execute a suite license agreement with the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, City of Edinburgh, and the Edinburgh Economic Development Corporation for the use of the exclusive right to use Suite 8 in Robert and Janet Vacker Stadium.
Council?
So move.
Second.
We have motion and a second, and I think there was a question on that.
Yes, I had 2 individuals and they wanted to know who was going to actually be reserving the suite, who would be using it. The public, only you, only the EEDC, and I said I didn't know, I would ask y'all.
I'm not, I think the public, yeah, it's a public. Go ahead.
So the tickets are issued to the city, and then it's at the council member's discretion on who will be issued the tickets to utilize the facility. And the EDC as well.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll be city council and EDC.
But there's no cost to the city or EDC?
There is no cost to the city.
All right. All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to item 12, other business. Council, is there any items that you'd like to request for future council meetings at this time?
No.
No, not at this time. What's the next budget meeting that we have discussion on?
I believe we're looking at the meeting in September. I'm not sure the exact date. Do you have the date, Mr. Alonso? Oh, we do have a workshop prior, though.
When is that? Yeah, I wondered.
August 19th is the next workshop,
August 19th?
Mhm.
Okay,
our next meeting.
so it's our next meeting. Okay, so it'll be before our council meeting?
Yes,
Or,
before
yeah.
the next council
What
meeting.
time would that be at?
I need to coordinate that with Ms.
Probably be
Balderas,
about
but-
5 o'clock.
Okay, so it'll be at the next.
To have ample
Yes, right
time.
before the
Great.
next council meeting, yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to item 13, executive session. Can I get a motion to convene into executive session?
Second.
We have motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. It's 7:58 PM. We're now going into executive session. Discuss items A through F.
All this is going to my office. This
Well, it's working out.
All right. Can I get a motion to reconvene from executive session?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, motion carries. I believe, and by the way, it's 10:10 PM. We're now back from executive session. Just want the record to reflect that there was no action taken in executive session. Do we have items that we need to take action on?
Yes, Mayor, we have a few action items. Under item 13C, we need a motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to proceed as directed as discussed in executive session.
So move.
We have motion, is there a second? Second. We have a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, motion passes.
And on item 13D, we need a motion to approve a proposed settlement agreement on the terms and conditions as discussed in the executive session, and authorization for city manager to execute the documents necessary to effectuate the agreement.
All right, is there a motion
So
to that
moved.
effect?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, motion carries.
No further action is needed at this time.
Very well, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second. A motion second. All in favor, raise your right hand. We're adjourned. Thank you.
You made it. You can sleep now. Were you nervous? Were you nervous?